All right, so today's story time is a little bit of a disgusting one, a little bit gross, I would say. So if you're easily grossed out by shit, don't watch this video. If you want to laugh a little bit and you're not that grossed out by shit, then keep listening. So today's story time takes place back when I was in high school. I was actually in 10th grade. Now, there was a select few people at my school that just didn't give a fuck. Like, they didn't care that they were at school. They would still do whatever they wanted. And that could mean a lot of things, like fighting in school or other stuff. And today's story time is about one of those other things. So there was a person in my school, let's just call him Joe. Okay, now Joe just didn't give a fuck. He had a lot of problems with people, me being one of them. And it was over some real petty shit. Like, I was friends with a girl that he used to date, and he assumed that me and her were dating, even though we were literally just friends. Like, straight up just friends, like on Facebook. And like, that was pretty much it. We didn't even talk that much at school. And he didn't like that. I got a message one day on Facebook, and he was like, "Yo, dude, back the fuck off." And I was like, "I'm not doing anything with her. Relax, man." He's like, "Whatever. She's my sloppy seconds anyway." And I was like, "Okay, dude, whatever." And then like the next day, he was like, "Dude, what did I tell you? Back the fuck off. I saw you talking to her at school today." And I was just like, "Dude, I'm just friends with her. I'm not fucking your ex or your girlfriend or whatever terms you guys are on. Like, we're just friends. Calm down." And he's like, "You better watch your fucking mouth, man." And I was like, "For what? Telling you to calm down?" And he's like, "Just fuck off." And he blocked me. So I thought that was the end of it. I was like, you know what? Like, whatever. That's the end of it. He clearly knows we're just friends. Even if he's butthurt about it, like, I'm not doing anything wrong. Fuck him. So about a week went by and things were going pretty normal. I wasn't really getting messed with. He gave me some dirty looks in the hallway, but nothing like out of the ordinary. And then randomly, like a couple days later, I was in school going to my second period class. It was like pretty much the beginning of the morning. And he walks up next to me and goes, "I warned you." And I look at him. I'm like, "Dude, I'm just trying to get to class. What are you talking about?" He's like, "I warned you. Stop messing with her." And I was like, "Dude, I don't know how many times I'm going to have to explain this to you, but me and her are just friends. I'm not messing with her or messing around with her or whatever you think's going on. Calm down." And he's just like, "Don't tell me to calm down ever again. I'm telling you right now, I fucking warned you. You don't stop, there's going to be some serious shit that goes down tomorrow." And I was like, "Okay, dude, whatever that means." He's just like, "Fuck you." And he walked away. And I was just like, oh my fuck, that kid's got problems. And he did have problems. He had some anger issues. But yeah, apparently some shit was going to go down the next day if I didn't stop being friends with her. So you want to know what I did? I didn't stop being friends with her because I didn't fucking care. I was like, whatever, he wants to try and fight me, let him. Like, fuck it. Because that's what I thought he meant by some shit's going to go down tomorrow, is he's going to fight me. So I didn't stop being friends with the girl because I didn't give a fuck about what he was going to do. And the next day came along, and he comes up to me first thing in the morning, and he's like, "Don't say I didn't warn you." And I was like, "Okay, dude, what do you want to do? You want to fight? Is that what you want to do?" He's like, "Oh, do you want to fight?" And I was like, "I'm asking you. Do you want to fight me? Because that's what it seems like." He's like, "Nah, I got something better planned." And I was like, "What the fuck does that supposed to mean?" And he's just like, "Don't worry, you'll find out eventually." And he walked away. And I'm like, oh, I hate this shit. I hate mind games. Like, shit like that just pisses me off. So anyway, I tried not to think about it, and I went on with my school day, and I got to lunchtime, so about halfway through the day. And after lunch, I started walking to my locker because I had to stop at my locker and grab a folder for my next class. And when I get to my locker, something just seemed off. Like, my locker looked funny, or like it didn't seem right. Like, it looked like someone dented it or something. I was like, oh, like I wonder if someone kicked my locker because it looked like someone kneed it. And then I opened my locker and I was greeted to the most disgusting surprise of my life. Joe, the fucking dude that didn't like that I was talking to his ex-girlfriend, decided that during lunchtime, he would break into my locker because it's really easy to break into the lockers at that school. You could just knee them and like open them. Like, you just kick them hard enough and they'd open. And that's what he did. That's why there was a dent in it. And he took a fucking shit in my backpack. I was so lost for words and disgusted. Like, I wanted to throw up, so I fucking shut it really quick and backed up. I was like, what the fuck? And I already knew who did it. I knew it was him. And I was like, wow, what the fuck? And then I thought about it, and I was like, he said yesterday that some shit was going to go down. Like, I don't know if he knew what he was saying, but he just made, like, one of the most fucked up puns I've ever heard in my life. So anyway, I go back into my locker really quick while holding my breath, grab my backpack, and then run it over to the garbage and throw it away. Now, that backpack, luckily, was a secondary backpack I just kept in there to hold folders and shit, so it didn't have anything like that important. I probably lost some folders for class and some pencils, which sucks, but at the same time, at least it wasn't anything, like, super important or expensive. But, yeah, like, fucking shit in my bag. And it's so fucked up because that's not the first occurrence of shit like that happening at my school. Like, some students there were really fucked up. I have other stories, and I think I've told a couple on here about people, like, pissing in lockers and shitting in people's lockers and fucking throwing like stink bombs in people's lockers. Like people were just gross like that. Like they would do shit like that. So it happened to me, and after that I went to my class just thinking like, what the fuck did I just see in my locker? There's no way this is real life. And I sit down in my class, and my teacher goes, all right, guys, take out your folders. Like, let's get to work on this. And I started thinking, I'm like, wow, I don't have my folder. I threw it away with that shit in my backpack. And she comes over to me. She's like, hey, where's your folder? I'm like, it's a really long story. She's like, oh, I got time. Please tell me your long story. I was like, well, miss, someone shit in my backpack. They opened my locker forcefully and shit in my backpack where your fucking folder was. So I'm sorry, but I can't work on your paper today because someone shit all over it. And she was like, okay, you don't have to use that language. I don't know if you're just trying to be funny or just being disrespectful, but go to the office. And I was like, okay, whatever. And I walked out of the room. And everyone that heard me was just laughing at me as I left the room. And I was so fucking mad because my whole day was ruined. He shit in my backpack, and now I'm getting in trouble and getting sent to the office. So I go upstairs, I sit down in the waiting room at the office, and my principal calls me in. And I was like, hey. And she's like, why are you in the office? I didn't get a call saying you were coming. Because usually they call up and say like, hey, Austin's being sent to the office for this reason. She didn't know why. So I explained to her, I'm like, look, this is how my day went. I started the day with being threatened by someone. He threatened me to stop talking to his ex-girlfriend or else something would happen. I didn't know what he meant by that. And then later on today, I went to my locker to grab a folder, and he shit in my backpack, in my locker. And she's like, what? I was like, yes, someone took a fucking dump in my backpack. And she was like, okay, don't swear at me. I understand you're upset, but like, what's going on? I was like, just call him up here. He'll tell you himself. His name's Joe. I snitched on him. I was pissed off. I snitched on him. I didn't give a fuck. He shit in my backpack. Once you cross the line of shitting on my backpack, like, you're pretty much fucking crossing that line where I'm just going to snitch on you. I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to play the revenge game. I'm just going to fucking snitch on you. So I did. I just couldn't fucking take it. Like, usually I would confront him about it or, like, deal with it myself. But, like, I just had to tell her who it was. So she calls him up to the office. Joe comes into the office. And within 5 fucking minutes, he admitted that he shit in my backpack. So she suspended him for 2 weeks because he fucking shit in my locker in my backpack. Like, you just don't get away with stuff like that. And in the end, he got suspended. And I kept talking to that girl. And I told her what happened. I was like, hey, your ex-boyfriend's jealous of me talking to you. He shit in my backpack today in my locker. And she laughed because it was pretty fucking funny. I can't lie. But I laugh at it now. But, like, just in the moment, I was so fucking just... I was freaking out. I was like, what the hell? But yeah, guys, moral of the story is, don't shit in people's lockers to try and prove a point. And yeah, just don't do that. If you guys found this story time funny and enjoyed it, please leave a like on the video. I would really appreciate it. Leave your guys' stories in the comments down below. Subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you guys all later. Peace.